spring afternoon in West Florida. Janie had spent most of the day under a blossoming pear tree in the backyard. She had been spending every minute that she could steal from her chores under that tree for the last 3 days. That was to say, ever since the first tiny bloom had opened. It had called her to come and gaze on a mystery. From barren brown stems to glistening leaf buds, from the leaf buds to snowy virginity of bloom. It stirred her tremendously. How? Why? It was like a flute song forgotten in another existence and remembered again. What? How? Why? Now they emerged and quested about her consciousness. She was stretched on her back beneath the pear tree, soaking in the alto chant of the visiting bees, the gold of the sun and the panting breath of the breeze, when the inaudible voice of it all came to her. She saw a dust-bearing bee sunk into the sanctum of a bloom. The thousand sister calyxes arched to meet the love embrace, and the ecstatic shiver of the tree from root to tiniest branch, creaming in every blossom and frothing with delight. So this was a marriage. She had been summoned to behold a revelation. Then Janie felt a pain remorseless, sweat that left her limp and languid. She felt an answer seeking her. But where? When? How? With kissing bees singing of the beginning of the world, she was 16. In the air of the room were flies tumbling
You should add that in there.
and singing.
F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere, anytime and all. Here in the deep blue sea.
Marrying and giving in marriage.
Love and marriage, go together like a horse. I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other.
Are we done?
Looking, waiting, breathing short with impatience, waiting for the world to be made.
Go.
Nanny saw Janie let Johnny Taylor kiss her over at the gatepost. Nanny then called Janie over. For Janie, Nanny's head and face looked like the standing roots of some old tree that had been torn away by storm. Nanny's eyes didn't bore and pierce. Instead, diffused and melted Janie and the world into comprehension.
Janie, you's a woman now.
Nah, Nanny, nah. I ain't no real woman yet.
Janie fought the thought away.
Yeah, Janie, you's got your womanhood on ya. So I might as just tell you what I've been saving up for a spell. I want you to get married right away.
Me? Married? Nah, Nanny, no, ma'am. What I know about a husband?
What I seen just now is plenty for me, honey. I don't want no trashy nigger, no breath and britches, like Johnny Taylor using your body to rub his foot on.
After hearing this, Janie felt like her kiss with Johnny Taylor was like an manure pile.
Look at me, Janie. Don't sit there with your head hung down. Look at your old grandma. So you don't want to marry off decent like, do ya? You just want to hug and kiss, feel around with the first one man and then another, huh? You wants to make me suck the same sorrow your mama did, eh? My old head ain't great enough. My back ain't bowed enough to suit ya.
For Janie, the mere vision of Logan Killix was desecrating the pear tree.
Janie,
Yes, ma'am.
don't you sit there after all I done went through for you.
She hit the floor. Next thing you know, shorty got them baggy sweatpants and the Reeboks with the straps. Turn around and get that big booty a smash. She hit the floor. Next thing you know,
Nanny lifts her hand for a second blow. She sees the huge tear that welled up from Janie's heart and stood in each eye. She saw the terrible agony and the lips tighten to hold back the cry. She brushes back the heavy hair from Janie's face and stood there suffering and lovingly weeping internally for both of them. under the big tree on his raw-boned back with all 4 feet up in the air. That wasn't natural, and it didn't look right.
You got that right.
But Sam said it would have been more natural for him to have laid down on his side and died like any other beast. He had seen death coming and had stood his ground and fought it like a natural man. He had fought it to the last breath. Naturally, he didn't have time to straighten himself out. Death had to take him like it found him. The flock had to wait the white-headed leader, but it was hard. They jostled each other and pecked at heads in hunger, irritation. Some walked up and down the beast from head to tail to head. Then he took off with ponderous flight and circled and lowered, until the others danced in joy and hunger at his reproach. He finally lit on the ground and walked around the body to see if it were really dead, peered into his nose and mouth, examined it well from end to end, and leaped upon it, and bowed, and the others danced a response. That being over, he balanced and asked,
What killed this man?
"Bear, bear, fat!
What killed this man?
Bear, bear, fat!
What killed this man?
Bear, bear, fat!
Who will stand for his funeral?
We!"
Sweet.
Touchdown!
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Ah, this tastes horrible.
Janie stood where he left her for unmeasured time and thought. She stood there until something fell off the shelf inside her. Then she went inside there to see what it was. It was her image of Jody, tumbled down and shattered. She was saving up feelings for some man she had never seen. She had an inside and an outside now, and suddenly she knew how not to mix them.
Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I